Hey folks, it's Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, October the 7th, 2022. Our trading approach works on any tradable asset, and in this video, which is Darko's actual pre-market analysis, PMA video that he provides for our members, you'll hear a complete analysis on various indices as well as a few commodities. And actually, Darko called a great silver trade last week, which you'll see in the video. We're showing you this PMA so that you can get a sense of the kind of analysis that Darko provides. And of course, with these analyses, he shows pending orders as well. So it's a great way to learn in real time with real trades, all shown in advance so you can actually take advantage of them. All right, hope you like this video. And if so, if you could give it a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate that. And of course, be sure to subscribe to our channel. By the way, let us know in the comments if you like this kind of analysis on other asset classes and if you'd like to see more of it. Okay, here is Darko's PMA video on what to look for on a few different indices and commodities.
Hi everyone, Darko here for your weekly PMA for Thursday, the 6th of October 2022. Let's focus on the indices and some other stuff in here. We always start with the S&P, okay? Obviously the yearly is heavily up, monthly is up, weekly is down. We had a minor rally, and don't even think for 1 second that this is over. This is a bear market rally. If we start with the monthly chart, what I have done is let me see here. Just give me 1 sec. So I marked the resistance in here on a monthly chart. Okay, this is the first reaction that we are seeing on the S&P. What price could do from here is that we react from this daily level for further upside, temporary upside. What I want to see in here is basically if I zoom in on a weekly chart. Okay, let me just grab my pen for you. Because it was very clear that this high was higher than this high, and we breached this level. We had a 618 fib pullback with a candlestick formation in here and the following lower low. Okay, and so now the trend is confirmed, and we made a lower high and a lower low, and this is more like a bigger swing. Okay, we had a bullish swing break. We bounced from that level. We made a lower high, and then I just see this as one leg. And now what I see happening, price heading up into this level. Okay, this is a strong weekly level, and then once we hit that level, and then we do another lower low, breach this low in here. Okay, we could temporarily pause from price, like react from this level heading up. Okay, and then at some point we will be heading down into this level, and this level is heavily on my radar basically when we start retracing. Okay, so as long as we are making lower highs on a weekly chart and we are not breaching any of these major swing highs, the S&P will be heading down. There is no other options. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, obviously on Friday it is a non-farm payrolls, and on the October 13 it's a very heavy big red flag news for the stock market. Okay, the inflation report and everything. And let's see first and foremost how Friday's numbers comes out, and also the October the 13th. There might be some heavy movement. There's no need to get panicked or anything. If things goes up from here, nothing has changed. Any circumstances with the inflation and the interest rates and everything. So if anything goes up, it's just temporarily until price I would say January, February, March next year. At some point we will see some more, might be seeing some upward movement and bottoming out, depending obviously how the inflation numbers works out and everything. So this is a great opportunity to invest on the stocks that you believe in. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on the S&P. If we start with the Aussie, we reacted perfectly from this level that I pointed out, and like I said, this is, we are not heading up. So these are the same levels that I showed in my previous PMA. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed for Bitcoin until we hit these weekly levels down in here for a potential long opportunity. I'm not, first and foremost, I don't trade Bitcoin. For those who do that, so I will definitely wait for price to hit this level of support, or if price goes up from here and hit resistance and gives you confirmation short. Okay, copper, we are still at this level of support. We are reacting from that level. Nothing has changed since my previous PMA. DAX, heading down into this level. This is a very strong level on DAX. Okay, and obviously if we breach that level, this is another strong level of support. Okay, dollar index is heading up. We are at resistance right now. We need, like I said, the numbers that is coming this week and on the 13th will be affecting the dollar index and every heavily correlated index with the S&P. Okay, a member wants me to do a more detailed top-down analysis on gold, and that specific member said you did not mention anything new from the previous PMA. The reason for it is because there is nothing new. What I do see in here is if I mark the first level of resistance, obviously we are at that level. What I do want to do in here is that to mark this monthly level, which coincides perfectly with this weekly level. Okay, and obviously this low is lower than these lows. We made a double top and breaching the previous low. We have identical neckline, and what I do see happening on a weekly chart, if I zoom in the weekly, both weekly and daily, set and forget short. Okay, there is a natural stop up in here that is deep enough to use as your natural stop, and then price convincingly breach this swing. We have background space, so if you are trading gold, this will be a shorting opportunity with a high stop loss aiming to the downside. You see that much more clearly on the daily chart. Price is heading up into this level. Once we do that, then this will be a shorting opportunity with a high stop loss aiming to the downside. The downside is more down in here, and obviously there are some levels before that level. So once we get filled, we will do the trade management thing for it. So this is the first threat that you should that you should take in consideration. Okay, so let's see how things goes. Let's change this into a pending order. We went through the S&P, UK, nothing going on. This is a level of support. We did not touch that level, bouncing from that level. Nothing on the volatility index. The Polish index is stuck between monthly support and resistance. This is a bearish index. This is a double monthly neckline, and this is a swing, a standalone strong swing monthly neckline. We hit this level and we are probably bouncing up into that level for further downside. Okay, this is heading down. Okay, same with the monthly, weekly, even the yearly does not look any bullish to me right now. It's more bearish. And obviously if we close around these levels, then the yearly chart will have a hiccup. That happens usually around January, New Year, and everybody is optimistic, and then boom. That's the reality of things right now, and obviously things are going on around the world, and let's just see how things goes. I was watching this level at first on oil. We breached that level, closed very bearish. So what I was thinking is that if that happens, then we are heading down into this level. Obviously, that did not happen either. So if we change back and forth, it doesn't matter. What I do want to see is I want to see something that I recognize without any effort. Okay, so right now, depending how you draw your support and resistance, if you just mark the swings, okay, we are making lower highs and lower lows. So let's see if this leg takes out this leg. If that's the case, you have one option to enter in here and one option to enter in here. Okay, once we do that, obviously, hopefully like by the next Thursday or something, we'll have more clear vision of what's happening on oil, and then we have a deeper look into those levels of support and resistance, and look if there is any way of entering a trade. Okay, we had a silver trade that got filled in here with a low stop loss. Obviously, as you know, this was pointed out by the time price was doing this, and that worked out perfectly. So another winning trade. What I do want to talk about here, it's like a repetition, but at the same time, this is important. Whatever I talk about on the Swedish stocks, I assume it's the same all around the world. Okay, so you can just take this idea, this way of thinking into your stock trading. So there are stocks where the company gives you anything between 7 to 10% dividends of the price of that specific stock. Okay, so they almost like tempt you to buy their stocks because they pay you very, very high dividends. But there's always a catch, right? Why would they give you that much money if, sure, the company could be performing great and all the good stuff. I'm not saying that every company has a hidden agenda, but I have been doing my own analysis and coming to my own conclusions, and I'm just sharing my thoughts with you, and you can go out and do whatever you want with what I'm teaching you and with the thoughts that I've been having around some stocks. So if I start with the absolute highest paying dividends in Sweden, okay, let's see how these charts looks like on a yearly chart. Okay, so if you buy this stock, the dividends is obviously anywhere between 7 to 10% of the price. Okay, that's very much. So if you are interested investing in stocks like this, you have to see, okay, I want to get some good dividends, but beside the dividends, what is the chart doing? Because for you to make money, the price needs to go up if you are buying, or if price, the company gives you much dividends, a very high dividends. If you are investing in stocks like this, where the yearly chart looks like this, going heavily sideways, nothing else, I would, and this is like no shocker or like it's no big news, new news, I wouldn't buy these stocks when price is at resistance. Okay, if you are interested investing in these high paid dividends stocks, I would rather try to enter as low as possible into that yearly range, and you might be waiting for 1 year, I have no idea, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it takes, because by the time you enter at the lower part, it doesn't need to be at the lowest point of the chart. You can start definitely around this level, start investing. It's much better to enter a stock at 42.5 and get some heavy dividends rather than entering that at 87 or 88. Okay, because then you lose, just like do the calculation between like almost 90 90 Swedish krona to right now is currently like 37. Okay, so that's, they tempt you to buy their stocks, but you have to be smart enough to know, hey, where do I enter this stocks? And I want to keep this stock for like a certain period of time. What is the least amount of risk taking that, buying that stock? At the same time, maybe price is heading up and I'm also getting dividends. It's just like, double payment. Okay. So basically, we are not that far. It's very, very likely before the end of the year, price will be touching this zone. Well, now all of a sudden you buy something that cost almost 90, 92, 93 Swedish krona. Now you buy it for 26. Let's just say 27. And then you buy it in here. And then, they pay you dividends. And at some point, this will be heading up back into this. Now, not only they pay you high dividends, now you are also making money because the market is heading up. That's very important to understand. Okay. Same with this next stocks. And you might say, Darko, you're just wasting my time. I'm not living in Sweden. I'm not buying these stocks. Like I say, you take the mindset and you learn from it and you apply that mindset wherever you live in the world, because trading is universal. What I'm teaching you is universal. So therefore, I'm showing you, just pretend that this is a stock in your country. It's the same in here. I won't be going through everything again. So this is like went from basically 170, and this yearly neckline is no joke. We are like very close to it at 57. Like, geez, that's a heavy price movement. Okay. And then when you invest down in here, you will get both prices heading up and the company is paying you dividends. And here's the thing with dividends. It's just like trading. Historical performance does not guarantee any future results. That means just because they pay you 10% of the price last year and the year before and the year before that, there is no guarantee that they will pay you 10% next year. If things are getting really ugly, and let's just assume that you entered, bought this in here because price was heading up, they pay you dividends, you bought in here, price is heading down, you are down a lot. Like you are down like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60%. And at the same time, they changed that 10% to 3%. And now you are in big trouble because they tempt you to buy their stocks, and now they are not giving you the certain amount of dividends that they gave you last year and the year before, because it's up to the company to, and maybe they say, you know what, based on the circumstances, there will be no dividends this year. That's it. Okay. So that should be on your mind to, think twice before you do something, because if you're maybe not having this knowledge or knowing about how things works, because I read a lot about people, traders or whatever they call themselves, is that, hey, let's just build a dividends portfolio, ignore what price is doing, at least they pay you. Well, sure, go ahead and do that, and you enter these stocks up in here. At the same time, you are losing money based on that. This might take like 3 years to get back up to this level again. And then they also announce, 3 months from now that, sorry for 10%, now we give you 2, or we give you 0. And now you are in deep trouble. It might take you like 3 years to be able to exit that trade with break even, maybe even 4 or 5 years. Who knows? Nobody sees the future, right? So I think you get my point. So when I choose a stock, I need to see the yearly chart. I need to know about the company, do some Googling, like for how long have they been operating, how many employees they have, who is the owner, and what is the numbers, looks good, and etc. etc. And if I choose a stock with 0 dividends, it better be like paying off very, very good. Okay, and obviously I have categorized these in amount of percentage dividends they pay, and having a closer look basically on daily basis and see how things goes. Okay, and let me show you my active portfolio. Okay, so these are the companies that I have invested in, and not the S&P and the OMX. These are just to see, because most of the stocks that I'm trading is correlated with the Swedish index, which is very heavily correlated with the S&P. And along the way, like maybe for 3 months ago, I did some mistakes. I bought some companies without doing my research properly, and by the time price is actually heading up, and then when price is heading up on the index, I am usually like slightly better than break even. Then I have the opportunity to exit the stocks that I regret entering at the first place. Okay, and I sold some of these with profit, some of them like with good profit, and then reinvest those money and wait for prices dropping, and wait for the companies that I'm actually listed on my buying list. Okay, and I don't have the need to buy perfectly at the bottom, because I know that this is a very long-term investment for my retirement. So I don't, if it's like diverging by I don't know, like 10 cents or 20, 30 cents, I don't wait for that last cent to enter, because this is, I would say, 10 to 15, maybe 20 years perspective of buying these stocks. And I also have stocks that is on my watch list to buy if I take this, for instance. Okay, this is a very good company, been around for like 100 years almost. So I wouldn't say there's like nothing wrong, like, because the real the real support is like at 140, and this is like 1.7 dollar above that level. So obviously there are several options. You could obviously wait for this level to get hit and you enter in here, and then you have a written down game plan to when to average down, and this is only applicable for stock trading, not for Forex. Okay, just give me 1 sec. There's actually one more stock that I want to share with you. Just give me 1 sec. Here's another stock that I just bought before recording this session. Okay, this is owned by, there are like 2 or 3 families in Sweden they are like financial gurus. This company is one of them. They are like dictating the rules for the financial business in the entire country. They are like super wealthy and all the good stuff. So this is a very trustable stock that the chance this to lose is, when I say lose, like if they go in bankruptcy. Sorry, that was my alarm going off. Sounds like a duck. So so I'm actually having a barbecue. Just forget about it. So this is the first level that I bought, and I deeply hope that within the next 3 months we will be heading down into this level. Okay, and I will be more than happy to buy more of this company. So the first level was a no-brainer level. Okay, down in here, like just down in here, and maybe we bounce from here, and then we make that lower high and then go down into this level. Then I will be more than happy to add into my position, and then at some point, this is a healthy, good looking yearly chart. Wherever we stop, at some point this will be heading up, and we stopped at 354. I would say, based on historical data, this could be heading up to 600-700 when things are looking good again. Obviously, I can talk about several price action stuff and the different levels of support and resistance. In this specific case, it's purely like teaching you how to actually think about buying stocks and also identifying high quality support and resistance and know where to enter, and also having a game plan, a literally written down game plan with the numbers for each of the trades, of the stocks that is in your portfolio, to know like, hey, I will spare this amount of money every month and I will be splitting that specific amount of money on a certain amount of stocks each month, because at some point this is heading up, but some other stocks are like more like this one in here. Sorry, let's just see here. It doesn't matter because some of them is already bouncing. You never see me buy something when it's like heading up. Then some other stocks is actually dropping. Then I will be focusing on the dropping stocks and split that amount of money. Let's just be very, very specific. Let's just say, for the sake of example, I am sparing $2,000, and this is my active portfolio, and within these stocks, these stocks in here, maybe only 2 of them is at support. The rest of them is already heading up. Then I will just split this in 2. That means I will be investing 1,000 stocks on each of them. And obviously, if the number is 3, then 2,000 divided by 3, etc., etc. You get my point. And that's how I'm doing. I'm building myself, a stock portfolio, and whatever happens. And obviously, this time I'm doing this in front of the entire world. So. Some people could say, Darko, you picked the worst timing investing in stocks. Well, what are the right timings? Like, the corona, if I invested in the corona when the corona broke out in March 2020, I would be, making 200-300% of my money. You have to invest when things are very dark, when things are like, it's the end of the world. It's like there is no, you don't even see the light in the tunnel, because by the time this goes up and things becomes very bullish, could takes like 6 months to maybe 2 years. It's too late. And we have to start somewhere. And as long as you're not selling, you're not losing. And if you have 15 years of perspective, or 10 years of perspective, 5 years of perspective, it doesn't matter what price is doing like for the rest of the year, or maybe the next coming 6 months or 1 year, because this is long term. Hope that makes sense. I will talk to you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you enjoy this session as well, and always feel free to give some feedback. I can always adjust some things along the way to make this service enjoyable and useful for you. Okay, so let me know if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. I will be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, thanks so much for watching. I know that was a bit of a long one, but I hope that you liked the analysis and that it made sense. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have, so just email me directly with anything. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys all have a great weekend and a great trading week ahead. All the best.